Eric Mwade for the week of April 7th, 2014. Let's take a look at the markets here pre-market. About 10 minutes to go with the Dow called down about 14 points. S&P 500 called down about 3 points. Nasdaq is called down about 17. And we see that overnight in Asia, we had relatively down session with Japan actually being down the most, 1.69. Right now we are looking at Europe also showing some loss there. And if we take a look at commodities, we see that crude oil is up, actually down. Natural gas is up, gold is slightly down, and so is silver, which is also slightly down. Let's take a look at some of the main things to consider this week and to watch for. Let's take a look at the Nasdaq, and this is a weekly chart. We can see that we ended the week below the 10-week moving average. So we need to watch whether we can hold above that 10-week moving average. Anything below the 10-week moving average is not a good indication, and so we need to watch for that. If we take a look also, we see that one of the reasons why we had a down week last week is because we broke this trend line here, which has been support. Now another consideration we can have is this area could turn out into support, because if you take the breakout here, beginning of 2012, which was this entry point here, very nice entry point. There was another breakout here, which was this entry point here, that entry point, and yet there was another move at the beginning of 2013, which is here. So somewhere in that general area, you draw a straight line and you see that the market favors this point right here. So if we can hold and bounce this week, that's going to be a market that is going to be in a rebuilding phase. So watch this level here. Keep in mind that we are very close to 50. Should the market move and close below 50 for this week, expect a big down week. Now if we take a look at the S&P 500, you see that last week we did try to break out above this previous weekly closing with a price of, so let's watch this level here, 1878.04, which is this previous weekly closing high here. So anything back above that level is going to be bullish. If it stays below that level, then now we are faced with a failed breakout, and that could be trouble for the market down the road. Also watch the S&P 500 if it can continue holding this support line on the weekly lows RSI. Anything below this line is going to be very bearish, and momentum is going to continue to the downside. I look at the Dow, and we can see last week we had the Dow making an attempt at closing at fresh weekly closing highs, and that failed. So we have a failed breakout as of right now. So if the market can recapture 16,478, which is this weekly closing high, if it can hold above that and break out, then maybe we have another successful attempt. But as of right now, we're looking at a market that failed to break out, which is bearish. So it needs to recapture 18,478 if it's going to convince buyers of its potential. Also watch this level here on the Dow weekly. If it does not hold above that line, that's going to be bearish. Anything above that line is bullish. Also watch the 10-week moving average. Anything above that is generally a market that is going to be trading sideways. Eric Mwade, good luck, peace, and blessings. Woo!